This is a demonstration of the Enhanced Serial Number Tracking System. The serial number tracking system of Project System allows you to capture serial numbers on received PO, packing lists, and before you do invoicing. We have here, under Task, Serial Number Tracking, the ability to search serial numbers. So later at the end of the day, you want to find out where this product was installed at, shipped, and date and time. You can do that. You can edit a serial number if for some reason it's been recorded wrong. You can create packing lists from what's called a receiver ID. I'll show you that. You can change the location between warehouse and shop, reprint a label, and print labels for allocation products, and transfer items to a project. This would be known as a steal function from one project to another. So what we're going to do is receive a purchase order. We'll start off by looking at our project, and you see here we have our project, and on the far right we have purchase order number 2023, and at the very last item you see that that is an item that is requiring serial numbers. Well, in fact, all of these are, but they're in different stages. So let's go receive our purchase order in. We come over here to receive purchase order and enter our purchase order number 2023. And this part of receiving a purchase order is normal. We're just going to do a partial, and let's say that we have 2 of these came in, and a partial again, and 2 of these came in, and this one came in complete. And so this part of received PO is normal. You just go ahead and process line by line. What is not normal is this screen here. This screen is where you capture the serial numbers. And you see we have the 3 items on our PO. And the first 2 items, the decision to capture serial numbers has already been decided, and we have to press the Get button. We could also press the Skip button. Now, we have the Skip button there in the case where you can't enter the serial number for some reason. It's inside the box, and you can't break open the box because your customer won't allow you to. So you can skip recording the serial number now and then record it later on. The last item has the determination to record a serial number has not been made, and so you can say yes or no to that. So we're going to go ahead and get the first serial number, and we'll just use A1234 for the first serial number and A12345. The system will not let you accidentally capture a serial number twice on this screen to prevent mistakes from happening. And the system goes ahead and allows us to capture. You see our Done button there. And then we go ahead and do the next one, B1234, B12345, and we hit Post. And then we go ahead, and for the last one, we are going to say yes, and then Get, and then C12345. And we go ahead and hit Post. Now we leave the screen, and then the rest of the receiving function happens as normal. And in fact, at the end of this, the system will actually kick out our labels for our items. You see here it actually created the labels for our items being received. Now I'm not showing you the exact label that was printed, but you see what the label looks like. It contains what's called the receiver ID and the serial number, and then a company name, the project that it was allocated to, project name, and the part number. And then down here, this little section of the label here is a tear-off label designed when you're using the product in a fabrication environment where once the item has been installed, you want to take this second label and post it onto what we call a rack build sheet so that we can record those serial numbers and use this receiver ID to create our packing list on the way out. So what I'm going to do now is work using the receiver ID to change the location. Now, the concept here is that, we want to know where this product is in our warehouse. And so let's say we're going to move it into the shop for fabrication. We can go to Task and change location, and we would set the location to be shop, and we would use our receiver ID to move it to the shop, and it confirms, yes, we're going to move this into the shop. And so later on, if we wanted to know where this product was, we can come over here, and you see we've captured 2 serial numbers now. We still have back-ordered 3. We've captured all the serial numbers for this item, and this item is still on order. And then we have 1 captured serial number on this one as well. But if we wanted to look at an info key, we can come over here to Serial Log, and we see the status of our 2 products. One is in the shop, and one is in the warehouse. And it shows us when this was received as well. Notice we have a transfer serial number. This is where we can actually take a product from one project and move it to another. Now, the next thing we're going to do is create a packing list from the items that were put together. And so we come over here to serial number tracking, create packing list, and we actually use the receiver ID to do this. We don't have to select the items from the project editor. We just go ahead and select the item, and then if we try to select the previous item that we've already selected, we get an error message, and we select the next item here, and that adds it to our packing list, and then we add the next item, and there we go, we're creating our packing list. Now, from here, we can go ahead and either add additional items, especially when you're in a transition between using the receiver ID and not receiver ID. You may need to go into the project editor and add additional items, or we can go right to creating our packing list, and we could go to a packing list, create our packing list, and this is all normal, except you didn't have to go to the lines in the editor. And then what happens is the system prints the packing list with our serial numbers. So without having to go and get them, we very nicely are creating the packing list right from the receiver ID, and this is now a packing list, and we're done. Now, another feature that we have is, let's pretend that we want to steal an item from one project to another. Well, we can go right into our project. So let's now transfer an item from one project to another. So we go into the project that we want the product to be brought into, and we see here we have a 4206 device, and we can go here to the info page, and we can go to transfer, and we use the receiver ID of the item we're transferring. And then it lets us confirm that we want to transfer, and we say yes. And in fact, we get a new label for that item so that we can put it on the box with the right project number and serial number, etc. And we come back here, we see that we have one allocated to this project and one serial number captured against this project. And there we have an item that was on a received PO, and it's been 100% committed to this project from the other project. The next thing we want to do is, let's say that we have a damaged label. We can come here to Task and hit Preprint, and we can either type in manually, or we can scan in a label if it's scannable, and then the system will reprint our labels. And then we have the ability to allocate. Another feature is if we have a project where we want to allocate product and we want it to generate labels, we can go ahead and press the F2 key as if we allocated. And what we're doing here is we're generating the number of labels we want printed to move it from house stock to our projects. We want new labels generated. And we click over there. And when we leave the project and we log in as the shop manager, we will get a message that says we have to print labels. And sure enough, we can go to Print Allocation Labels and click on this, and then the system will kick out X number of labels. Now, I'm not going to print this because I don't want 50 labels to kick off in my demonstration, but it would kick off 50 labels, and there you go. Last but not least, I want to show two things. Number one, we can edit, we can do a search of a serial number, and if we put in our receiver ID of the item we're searching, okay, that's the serial number. We search by serial number. If we search by serial number receiver ID, we can do that, and it shows us our serial number and the receiver ID. And let's say that this serial number is wrong. We can actually press the edit button here and make that serial number there. So that is our new serial number, and that's been saved. And if we hit the clear and then do it again, we see now our new serial number. We can also do a search by serial number. So if we want to find out when this was recorded into the system, we can hit our clear screen, put our serial number in, and do our search, and we come up with the same information. And we can also go ahead and print out a formal report in Crystal. It was received PO, assigned to our project, what date it came in, who was the one that receiving it, and it's in our warehouse right there. So there's lots of great information. Now, if you happen to have an item where there's a duplicate serial number, I'll do a couple of things like that. You see there's two projects where the item has the same serial number, so you can actually go ahead and filter that down to 4206 and do our search, and now we have back to 1. So there's a lot of great capabilities that are available with the search capability of enhanced serial number tracking. Please call DovNet Technologies for pricing. We can supply you with high-volume printers and the special two-part label, custom designed for DovNet Technologies, and the ribbons and the wireless scanners, etc. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. Bye.